Okay, yeah, so what we're going to start out tonight is if we were to open up the lines right now and just ask everybody, most of you guys can see me right now, but the question I would do if I was starting this is to ask, how do you guys feel about how I feel right now? I don't need any answers. I don't need any responses. That's what personal development is about, right? It doesn't matter what other people think. And as Les Brown has said many times, like, what people think of you is none of your spiritual business. Let's really get into this. I'm going to try to get us out in a good time tonight. But I feel that it's very important that we start out with what is personal development, right? We hear a lot about personal development, and I just want to share my story on personal development before we get started. I was a person that was, my parents have introduced it to me at a very young age. I didn't even know what it was, but we would always be listening to positive things. And, the thing that I learned about personal development that I did wrong, and I don't want anyone else to make the same mistake, is it's very important that when it says personal development, that's something personal. So a lot of the young people that are first time being introduced to personal development, what we typically do is we introduce others. When we're introduced to personal development, we introduce it to others. And then if they don't like personal development, we get distracted, right? We lose our confidence.
You are muted. You can mute or unmute yourself by pressing *6.
All right, I just got muted. Did y'all hear everything else? All right. So what we do is typically we get distracted because we share it with others, and we think if other people aren't doing it or other people don't like it, then something must be wrong with it, or maybe I don't need to do it. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about some facts, and I want to talk about some things that we all need to at least think about. And then maybe we'll come back next week and we'll do a follow-up. So let's start it here. A very good place to begin with personal development is to ask yourselves, what is personal development, right? There's a gentleman named Og Mandino who's done extensive research on personal development, and what he has said is we are an accumulation of the people that we know and the books that we read. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say it again. We are an accumulation of the people that we know and the books that we read. So, well, what does that mean? So let's say, for example, we have some people on the line right now that got started with this opportunity to escape, to find a new way, to break a generational curse. What that ultimately means is that you don't personally know anyone that is going down the path that you want to go. You don't know any really successful people. So that takes away one of the two ways that you can you can find your foundation. Remember, the people that you know and the books that you read. So if you don't know anyone and you're trying to go into a better direction, that leads you to one place. Because it's not very easy to find great people, successful people that want to hang out with someone who hasn't proven themselves yet. So that takes us to the books that we read. Well, listen, if you're not reading any books, right? If you're not reading any books and you don't know any successful people, you're doomed for failure. So Les Brown has constantly reminded us that all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough if you just make sure that all you can do was really all that you can do. So, here's what we're saying, guys. Science has proven and has done extensive research on the human brain. And what they have found is the first 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning is when your mind is most impressionable. What does most impressionable mean? Most impressionable is, you know that old saying that we all use? Well, they must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed. No, there's a science to that, guys. And people who understand the first 10 minutes when we wake up is when your mind is most impressionable. That is basically saying the first 10 minutes when you wake up, if you feed it with something that's not on purpose, if you are looking in your phone, you're going to social media, you're having negative conversations, sometimes it's the person that you're sleeping next to. As soon as you wake up in the morning, they can't wait for you to wake up in the morning. All they asking you is, did you take the trash out last night? Before they even say good morning. What science has proven is that first 10 minutes, if you don't protect it, that is going to dictate how the rest of your day is going. So when we say that person woke up on the wrong side of the bed, there's a science to that. And that goes to, we have to look at the first 10 minutes. Are we protecting our mind that first 10 minutes when we wake up in the morning? I don't need to ask. I don't need to open up the lines. I know most of us, we're not protecting that first 10 minutes. We're looking at our cell phones. We're checking our text messages. We're logging into social media. We're putting on the radio. We're putting on the news. We're putting on the Netflix. Our first 10 minutes. The only thing that I'm here to encourage and challenge everybody to do is to protect that first 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning. And I understand. I've been in relationships where the person you're sleeping next to, they're not positive. And you may be asking, well, Demetrius, what do I do? I've been married 15, 20 years, and, my spouse is just the way that they are. Well, what do you do? I mean, I'm not encouraging anyone to get a divorce, part ways in a relationship. But what I am saying is we have to be solution-minded. And if science is right and we got to protect that first 10 minutes, what I'm asking you to do, you know that person better than anybody else does. Could you wake up 20 or 30 minutes early? Could you slide out of the bed? Could you do it a little bit more discreet? Maybe normally when you wake up in the morning to that negative person, right? I know Les Brown once did a meeting. He said, listen, if you're sleeping with somebody that's negative, please don't say so right now on this call because they might be listening to you. And that's going to mess it all up for you. But listen, if you're with someone that's negative, that's not a good reason to not protect that 10 minutes. You got to be solution-minded. And you got to wake up 30 minutes early. If you give that person a kiss on the forehead before you wake up, and that's when they deliver all the bad news to you, maybe you can slide out of the bed that first, instead of giving them a kiss, just try it out for 30 days. Give them a kiss after that 10 minutes. Say you went to the bathroom, right? But that 10 minutes, I can't stress to everybody enough that 10 minutes when you wake up, that is the most important part of your day. It doesn't matter, and I don't care how strong you are. You get those first if you get a bunch of negativity in that first 10 minutes, if you're logging in on your social media account, because listen, I know some people may say, well, I go to my phone because I need to see what time it is. If I open up the lines right now, maybe I will open up the lines, see what do we honestly do as soon as we wake up in the morning. And our intentions are good. We go to our phone, whether it's to check the time or to check our messages. We go to see a good message. But the truth of the matter is a lot of us have notifications on our phone. And sometimes it's negative information you see on those notifications. So what I'll do, and if we're not going to be honest, if we have a platform full of people that are not being honest, I'll close the lines out. We can continue to call just so I can at least get you the information. But I'm curious to know, maybe I'll take 2 or 3 people. I want to know what do you do in the first 10 minutes? I also want to know, did you know how important that first 10 minutes is? So if you want to share very briefly, what do you do in your first 10 minutes when you wake up?
Hey, Demetrius.
Yes, Carl.
When I wake up, the first thing I do is thank God that I have a day to continue on because that does not happen every day for everybody. And after I do that, I go into what is called affirmations. So I say daily affirmations, and I do that for that whole entire 10 minutes. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Carl. I got space for 2 more.
This is Vernell.
Yes, Vernell.
This is Vernell. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do, I usually have water. I said, thank God for opening my eyes, my ears to hear. And then I drink. I have water by my stand this side, so I drink my water. And then it's time for prayer. I know prayer will be coming on in a few minutes. So immediately I get on to the prayer call. That's the first thing I do. And then my prayer is preparing my day. That starts my day, and then I have a line of scripture that's in my book. I have a book that has the daily prayer each day.
Boom. Thank you. I got space for 1 more. What do you do in the first 10 minutes? Go ahead, John.
Okay. You hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Okay. First 10 minutes for me is I'll lay with my eyes open, just thanking God for a brand new day, a day I've never seen before. It's like a new car to me that I just purchased, or a new home that I walk into for the first time and got the smell of it, the smell of the new day. As I put my mind together, I reach for my scriptures beside my nightstand right there, and I just have a moment of meditation, just thanking God for that brand new day that He has blessed me as my day began with Him in it. That's every day for me. Every new day. Every new day.
I love it. Does anyone log into their phone, check with social media, have any random things that just normally happen in their first 10 minutes as soon as they wake up? Anybody? If not, that's okay. We'll move forward. Anyone? Or everyone protects that first 10 minutes? Anyone?
This is Shantae. I don't know. My screen got the background in. I don't know if you can see me or not.
Yeah,
but I am that person. I wake up in the morning, I check my time, and as I'm checking the time, then my mind goes to Facebook, checking messages, the emails, and things like that. So I'm going to start that challenge that you're talking about, the first 10 minutes, and devote that to something else besides Facebook. And because I do, once I get on there, my day is all messed up because I'm worried about who doing what or who ain't doing what and everything like that.
I love it. Love it. Anybody else is not protecting that first 10 minutes? And again, our intentions are good. It's just we don't know what you're going to get. But anybody else before we move forward? No? Okay. All right, so the deal is, whether if it's for us, but it's important for us to know this, simply for the fact that we're going to bring on most of this world, including myself. Before I was introduced to personal development, I was just like Shantae. Like, Shantae, that was me. I'm logging in, what's going on, hey, boom, and anybody who knows me, seen my transformation, I'm the best at everything, and including being negative. And you have to train yourself to be positive. Like, if we want to get negative, there's no one in the world, because I can be negative. Like, I don't care if we're talking about a potato. I can break down how I'll start talking about how the potato looks. It's not oval. Wait, you didn't notice this. It's dry, right? You didn't eat the skin. You're not. I could break it down. If we're gonna be negative, I can be negative, and I'm the best at being negative. But I'm also training myself, and I'm the best at being positive. So for those of us that are good with that first 10 minutes, let's understand there's people like me and there's people like Shantae that we're going to bring into this business that we're going to encounter that are not protecting. They have no idea about this first 10 minutes and the importance of it. So this information may not be for you, but it's